Komolafe. So today I'll be bringing to you cultural differences in relationships and marriage, and I'll be having my co-hosts together with me here, my beloved.
I'm back again today. Isn't that nice? I'm happy to be here. Let's see how we can fire this thing.
Alright, so if this is your first time in this channel, please ensure you follow, you subscribe, you like, and also hit the notification buttons so you can get new video alert. And like I said, today I'm bringing to you cultural differences in relationships and marriages. Like in previously, and in fact happening presently, a lot of relationships have embarked serious dramas, issues on the cultural differences. Like I've heard stories of how a lot of people complain about how they couldn't marry this guy because the mother-in-law is not the mother of their boyfriend or fiance, let me put it that way, complain that they are not from the same tribe and would want the boy to marry from where he originates from. So what are these cultural differences that we have today that affects our relationships and marriages? Stay tuned as I bring to you those differences. So like I said earlier, I'm with my beloved husband today in my show. So we'll be discussing together the cultural differences in relationships and marriage. Like you all know, I'm from Kogi State, originated from Kogi State, Igala by tribe, and you are from
Lagos State, Yoruba boy.
So you can see, so today we're going to be trashing differences, our cultural differences in our relationships and marriage. So what were exact things that, when it comes to cultural differences, right? Well, we encounter a lot of issues like value, belief system, way of doing things, communication styles, and a lot more. Even the way we relate with each other also matters in relationships and marriages, especially when it comes to cross-cultural beliefs in marriages and relationships. So I would like to know your own part. What are the things you actually embark during the time of your courtship with right? Of course, then probably maybe you haven't told me some things that I need to know during the course of we preparing to getting married. Maybe some of the things as you approach your parents. This girl, where is she coming from? Is she a Yoruba girl? So can you share with my audience with a little of some of those things?
So I remember the first time my wife came to my parents' house. My mother wanted to start configuring her into a Yoruba girl. So she's like, because in Yoruba culture, right, if you're a lady and you want to greet those that are elderly to you, you have to, then your two legs must be on the ground, the toe of your leg, not just bend down, so your two legs must touch the floor, and then you cannot stand up until they tell you to stand up.
That's right.
Because if you just lay down and stand up, then that's disrespect. Yeah, you will need that, then they will tell you, they did that, stand up. When you stand up, then they can now hug you or whatever. And if you're a guy, if you like be a fine boy, if you like be whoever you are in this world, when you go, if you are wearing cap, you remove that cap and lie down flat. They tell you to stand up where you stand up. That's the same thing for the men as well. So that I remember my mom tried to teach my wife those things because
in fact, initially when I came, my culture is that we kneel down with just one nail and then the other nail is up. And then she now said no, that the two nails have to be on the floor. I know we were working now, we're wearing tight jeans and all of that. So of course, in the process, one of my jeans got torn.
Oh my God.
In fact, that was the highlight of the whole game. What? So, but then I flow with her because one thing I've come to understand about cross-cultural relationships and marriage is that if you indeed really love the man or love the woman, that you're going into that way. There are some certain rules that you will abide in, but although some that could actually go against your religion, in quote, especially when it comes to God, put a stop to it. Let's say, for instance, okay, like you are Yoruba, I'm from Kogi State. I know even in our marriage, you can literally see that what we are discussing now actually played a role.
Yeah.
Because of the cultural differences, even the kind of food we eat, the kind of, things, and in fact, even the background also, because there are some things that I will do and you won't take it like, okay, why is she doing this kind of a thing? And there are some attitudes you portray that I'm like, okay, why is he behaving like this? Is it that this guy is not cultured or is not properly cultured and trained or something? So you can see that has actually come into place to stay in our society. Like in our society now, like a lot of relationships are suffering and a lot of marriages have been broken because of this cross-cultural difference. So now, do you think moving forward, we should actually eliminate marrying from other culture, that's from other tribes, or we should keep in our generation? Because there's something I've noticed in our generation recent times. I've noticed that the probability of people marrying from cross-cultural is way more than exactly than people who marry from same culture or same tribes. Because I've come to realize that most of the time, like, see my elder brother, he married from Benin, an Edo woman. I married from the West, which is the Yorubas, and then a lot more. You see, so you can see that eventually in the culture there is an intertwining essential thing that is happening in the marriages and relationships. So do you think with all of these cultural challenges we have in relationships and marriage, we should continue that way, or there should be a stop to it because of the interjection of the in-laws and outlaws because of the cross-cultural?
And for me, whether there are cultural differences or no differences, you still face different challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll also be other even people from the same culture, right? Some of them still have different family orientation. Even from the same culture, the way they do things in those families, how do we raise? So even that is as well, we see bring conflict amongst them. So irrespective of that, the different culture is more conflicts, right? So I think for a person who's getting married, one of the things you need to learn is to appreciate other people's culture. So you can navigate, you can find ways around it, make fun of it, enjoy it, and open yourself to learn that culture as well. Because at the end of the day, all of us did not choose the family upon.
Absolutely.
We just showed up there. Mm-hmm. And then as we grew up, the reason why we're calling ourselves Hausa or this because we grew up in those environments. If we're born in one other country, we'll be speaking their language and be behaving like them too as well. So the environment that customized us to how we are. You see, so end of the day, and how does the environment affect us? Through learning, through repetition, doing the same thing over and over again. So if you understand that, then you realize that people have a different background. So for me, I think you just learn that place culture. I just float it. And of course, there are things that may bring some arguments, some conflicts, but at the end of the day, it's two people that are married, they have to fight.
So in a situation whereby the argument kept repeating itself to a point that the other party is about losing their sanity, what do you advise the people?
For those kind of cases?
Because for me, if I have a toxic person around me, or toxic people as in-laws or outlaws, or have toxic friends around me, the first thing I'll do is to just eject them from my way. Because me, I'm very focused. So when I'm in that lane, in that track, any distraction that is coming, I'd rather put you behind me than to start trying to resolve issues, because there are some in-laws you cannot literally resolve issues with them. When you bring issues to resolve, they will always surface with another issues that will bring more heat than what it was before. So in that situation, like you spoke about differences of arguments, disagreements, and all of those things. So you see that if you were able to resolve the other argument or disagreement between the two cross-cultural ethics, do you think that it is still wise for you to continue in that light. What do you do to toxic people who will not let you be in the relationships and marriages?
So these people are like external people. That's like
what in-laws and outlaws? Yes.
Now, so it depends. So depending on the situation, I was really dependent. For instance, now, if what the person is doing to you is going to damage your emotions, damage your life, silence, then one of the first things you can do is to give that person, avoid that person.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't honor them, you shouldn't greet them, something like that. But just avoid friendship, avoid those spaces where.
In fact, avoiding them is even where the respect comes in.
Yes, because at the end of the day, there's no scripture that said that be friends with your in-laws. It's only husband and wife talks about it. You get right? So it's not compulsory. While to honor your father and mother doesn't mean that you should be friends with them. You may not agree with them, but you can still honor them. You may not support the idea, you may not support the ideology, but you can still honor them, whichever way it is. You get to, you can avoid them, avoid those all those heat periods, all those. Before at the end of the day, what's the point? You cannot change that person. That person, this is what the person believes. This is how they grew up. This is what they know. And you have a totally opinion. I want to change the person. You are wasting your time. So what's the point of talking and disturbing your life when the person is not even ready to know this is what you have to say? So there's no point. Just stay your cool and live your life, and you can work together. There are other things you can find a common together. Any common ground you find each other, enjoy that moment, and everybody should move on. That's all that I'll say on that matter.
Yeah. So like previously, I've had a scenario where an Igbo lady married a Yoruba guy, and in fact, as I speak to you, the marriage is not even in existence again. Reasons that the mother-in-law said that I don't know. No. Yes, the mother-in-law of the Yoruba guy, that's the husband, said no, that since he wants to contest for a position, he wants to contest for a position, go into politics. So he'll be needing a Yoruba wife. You can imagine. So the issue has been back and forth, basbos between the boy and his mother. But on the later on, the boy succumbed to the mom's idea and decision, and then he picked another woman that came into the house to stay in the marriage, which literally caused chaos between him and the other lady. That's
definitely.
Exactly. And then the first wife had to leave the house. So you can see that these cross-cultural things have been happening in the time past, right? So now, what do you advise people that are in that situation at the moment? Like, a lot of people are into that. In fact, if you take the statistics of people who are having this issue, is like 9 over 10.
Yes, and that is because a high percentage of divorces in marriage today are caused by parental influence on those marriages. Because if you look at how, like, if you're a Christian, for instance, there's a standard that we follow, where God told Adam in the garden after he met him, he says, "For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife." So when they say leave, now this thing I'm saying now, some mother-in-laws of the sons, they hate this thing, but that's not the truth. When your son is getting married, he has to leave father and mother and cleave to his wife. Now notice, God didn't tell the wife to leave father and mother. You notice that?
Yeah.
So that means the father and mother of the wife can come to the house. Are you seeing that? They can stay in the house. He can even be friends with them. But he has to leave his own father and mother. And that's what many mothers with sons cannot. They can't manage that. That is what caused most of the issues. Because for instance now, and the man also allowed parental influence on the family. Because even as much, if you can stop parental influence, especially from the husband side into the family, most of the time those marriages never fold up. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you want to report to the husband's parent about the husband, they may say, hey, they're angry with him, but they will still support their own, because their own is natural for anybody to do that. Even if your child is something wrong, you still support your child because it's your child.
That's right.
So every day, reporting yourself to your spouse, or reporting your issue to the parent or to your parent is actually causing more damage than solution in the first place. it's better you see the third party who can really give you guys method, who doesn't have any influence, who doesn't have any emotional attachment to any of you at all. The person can give you pure clarity without any bias. But once you bring your parents inside, there's always bias from either of the parties. So if you're going to be smart to navigate this kind of cultural differences, you need to first avoid parental influence. That doesn't mean you don't to talk to them. That doesn't mean we can't honor them. But they should not dictate what happens in your home. They should not dictate how your wife should do this, how your husband should do this. They should not be the ones in control of the family. God has put the man as a head. You are the man as a head. Be the head of that family and live in that family. But your parents should not influence. And in fact, you're supposed to leave father and mother and cleave to your wife and cleave to your wife's family. Learn their culture. Be among the entire family of work. That is the new deal that is given to us from the foundation of the world. And that's where marriage is supposed to be in the first place. Because once you are getting married, it's actually a new family. So that family you were before is now your extended family. They are no longer your nuclear family because you have left that family to start a new one. So your first priority is that family. And your job as a man is to protect that one, take care of that place. Don't allow cultural differences or start to
protect your territory.
Because your space now. And you're the lion in that space.
Yes.
So you protect your kingdom.
You are the lion and the tribe of that family.
Yes. So you protect your kingdom. I don't allow any, whether it's father or mother, nobody should enter. Brother or sister, they should not enter without your permission. So the reason why many divorces happen because of, I'm telling you, most of the divorces happen because of parental influence. Once you start telling, reporting this one, can you imagine my wife is greeting? Can you imagine? Cannot even do so. How does it? She Yoruba girl? Yeah, is that how she grew up? If she wants to learn, it's fine. If you don't want to learn, leave her alone. I get the point. So these are some things. Okay, even there's one culture I know in Nigeria. If the guy wants to marry one of the ladies, he has to collect like 100 strokes of kin. First.
100 strokes. I don't understand. Come again. 100 strokes of kin.
A minimum. Yeah. As in, if we cannot withstand the king, they don't believe they can take care of the wife, protect. They don't believe they can take care of the wife and protect the wife. Because in those days, that they feel that a man is a man, a good husband is a man of strength. That's what they thought a real man is. That's how powerful you are, how muscular you are, that determines how strong the marriage is.
Yeah, that reminds me, even in my culture.
Yes.
You remember when they asked you to bring how many able-bodied men to come and farm, and that will happen for like one.
Yes.
So that is what you are supposed to do. To my fathers. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. But then, since we are in the modern world, not the Gen Z world. So thank you guys for staying, for watching through. If you look at the cultural differences in our relationships and marriages, has brought a lot of conflicts in our relationships and marriages. Rather than doing those, it has done harm rather than doing good. So what are these differences we're talking about? Values, belief, communication, lifestyle, and etc., and lots more. So today, after watching this video, I want you to understand from what my beloved husband has shared with you. I want you to understand that when it comes to cultural, cross-cultural relationships and marriages, don't let parents have a higher say in your relationships and marriage, because they are very influential. The in-laws are influential in every marriage because, of course, they want to have a role to play. So what do? The first important people in every relationships and marriage is the groom and the bride. And if you're in a relationship, it's you both of you as partners. You are the number one in that relationship. What you want or what you decide in that relationship is what must stand. The mother-in-law, the father-in-law to be, or whatever influence, in-laws and outlaws coming into that relationship to have a say does not really matter. Okay, so like for instance, if you go to the law, the registry to do wedding, to wed in the registry, nobody will ask you whether you've done traditional wedding or white wedding, because as far as they are concerned, the society owns you. So even when you're leaving the country, the society owns you. You must provide your certificate of citizenship. If you are married, you must provide your marital certificate. So what am I trying to say? My point is this: be very careful about the cultural differences in your relationships and marriage. If it's such that you can flow with and adjust, it's good to. And if it's such that you cannot, then ensure that the most important say in that relationship and marriage is both of you partners that are involved in that institution. And lastly, also for mother-in-laws and father-in-laws out there watching this video, I also want to let you know that try as much as possible to have lesser say in their relationships and marriage. Whatever advice you have to bring to them, let it not be forceful, let it not be forceful, let it not be impulsive, let it be a willing, like an advice that you give to them. If they choose to buy into it, fine. Your duty as parent is to guide them in every track of the way and ensure they don't go wrongly, and not forcing them because you do not like what they're about to do. So thank you so much for watching this video. God bless you. If you know this is your first time of joining us here, ensure you follow all my social media handle at Jennifer Tosin Komolafe, and also Pastor Tosin has his social media handle. Ensure you go. All right, so
guys, thank you so much for joining today. I'm grateful to be with you again. I'm sure I hope you'll invite me more. So I'll give you more.
Of course. We'd like to have you in this space. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Don't forget to follow Jennifer Tosin Komolafe, and don't also forget, what will it profit you to follow Jennifer Tosin Komolafe and not follow Tosin Komalafe's page? So please ensure you do that as we take a bow tonight. Have a wonderful and a good evening from your one and only favorite relationship talk, Pastor J, aka your celebrity pastor. So, bye-bye.